Mic check. That was it. Is it good? No? Mic check? Mic check. All right, we're on the record in case numbers 9513T and 9514M. 9513T is the continuing investigation of the purchased gas adjustment charges of Chesapeake Utilities of Maryland, Inc. for Caroline, Dorchester, Wicomico, and Somerset counties. And 9514M is the continuing investigation of the purchased gas adjustment charges of Chesapeake Utilities of Maryland, Inc. for Worcester County. All right, Mr. Quinn, do you have any exhibits?
Good morning, Your Honor. Brian Quinn on behalf of the companies. Yes, the first exhibit I'd like to introduce relates to case number 9513T, which is Chesapeake Utilities of Maryland, formerly known as the Maryland Division. On November 26, 2025, I filed the certificates of publication regarding today's evidentiary hearing. I filed those at mail log number 324817. I'd like those to be marked as Maryland Division Exhibit 1 for the record.
Do you mind if we mark it as Chesapeake Exhibit 1?
Of course, Chesapeake Exhibit 1.
Any objections to Chesapeake Exhibit 1?
No, Your Honor.
No objection.
Did you want that moved into the record?
I do. I should probably quit while I'm ahead, but I'm going to mention something in the newspaper notice that I'm sure Your Honor saw. The actual text of the newspaper notice that was printed in the newspapers through the service territory referred to the company as Chesapeake Utilities Corporation, hyphen Caroline, Dorchester, Somerset, Wicomico, formerly known as Chesapeake Utilities Maryland Division. As you know, Your Honor, the legal name of the company now is Chesapeake Utilities of Maryland, Inc. Chesapeake Utilities Corporation was the old name. I would submit that the notices provide constructive notice to customers, but I wanted to mention that issue. It was an inadvertent error. It went to the print with Chesapeake Utilities Corporation instead of Chesapeake Utilities of Maryland, Inc.
Both OPC and staff already indicated they don't object. Do you want to change your?
No, Mr. Quinn let us know ahead of time, and we have no objection from staff.
Okay. If OPC and staff have no objection, that's fine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Exhibit 1 is admitted into the record. Sorry, why don't we go ahead and, since you've spoken, enter appearances of OPC and staff, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. It's Pauline Races on behalf of OPC.
Good morning. And staff?
Harrison Scher on behalf of the Commission's technical staff.
Good morning. Okay, and Mr. Quinn, you have witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. Chesapeake would like to call Jeffrey Roberts to the stand.
Yes, I do.
Could you please state and spell your first and last name?
First name is Jeffrey, Jeffrey. Last name Roberts, Roberts.
And could you give us your business address?
Business address is 500 Energy Lane, Dover, Delaware, 19901.
Mr. Roberts, good morning. Mr. Roberts, do you have a document in front of you that has a cover letter titled Direct Testimony of Jeffrey Roberts on behalf of Chesapeake Utilities of Maryland, Inc., Caroline, Dorchester, Wicomico, and Somerset counties, formerly known as Chesapeake Utilities Maryland Division, indicating case number 9513T?
Yes, I do.
And is this document dated November 7th, 2025?
Yes.
Does it consist of 8 pages of question and answer testimony and 2 exhibits that total 7 pages?
Yes.
And was this testimony prepared by you or your or under your direct supervision?
Yes.
And are there any changes or corrections you'd like to make to your testimony today?
Yes, 2 minor changes. First, to rectify typographical errors. So first, on page 5 of my testimony, line 19, this value, the 952,713, should reference page 6 of my testimony. So the corrected amount should be 782,603 and 41 cents. This does not change the ACA total. And then on page 7, line 21, the difference between last year's ACA credit and this year's credit on line 21 should be .0114 instead of .114.
Mr. Roberts, other than those 2 corrections, if these questions in this document were asked of you today, would your answers be the same?
Yes, they would.
And do you adopt this testimony as your sworn testimony here this morning?
I do, yes.
With that, Your Honor, I'd like to have Mr. Roberts' direct testimony in case number 9513T, marked as Chesapeake Exhibit Number 2,
So marked.
and respectfully request to be moved into the record.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objection.
Okay.
Witnesses available.
Chesapeake Exhibit 2 is entered into the record. Mr. Scher, could you approach? Could you give everybody? So, Mr. Roberts, what I've just shown you, I'll mark as Bench Exhibit 1. You've seen that document, right?
Yes,
That's your signature on the 3rd page, electronic signature?
correct, yes.
So as I understand it, you requested that the commission approve a partial consolidation of the GSRs for the 3 legacy companies, correct?
That's correct.
And then on page 2, you requested the closure of dockets 9513 and 9514, which pertain to this case and legacy Sandpiper Energy, upon issuance of the final order in the anticipated Q4 2025 proceedings. Do you see that? The
Correct,
bottom of
yeah.
page 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That would be what we're doing right now, right? This is
Correct.
the Q4 2025 proceeding?
Correct.
Okay. So you anticipate a final order coming out of this case? That would,
Yes, a final ACA order that would authorize a credit for Maryland and a charge for Sandpiper, and that would be the conclusion of the ACAs for these 2 legacy business units.
okay. So then in December, let's say, of 2026, Chesapeake would come in and it would still have a partially consolidated GSR for 3 different service territories, but it would be under 9515?
My understanding is the docket, yes, we'd continue on 915 unless the commission decided we wanted to start a new docket. But at that point, we would have, instead of 3 buckets of ACA dollars, we would have 1 bucket of ACA dollars authorizing that proceeding.
Okay, so at some point in calendar year 2026, you're going to go from a partially consolidated GSR to a fully consolidated GSR?
No, we'll have a fully consolidated ACA over-under balance, but the GSR will stay separate for each legacy service area. It'll be by county, so Cecil County will have 1 rate, Worcester County will have another rate, remaining counties will have another rate, and that's based on the fixed cost allocation that we worked with the commission and was authorized in this September filing.
Okay, but it'll be done in one proceeding.
Correct.
So do you have your direct testimony in front of you?
Yes, I do.
So at page 6, starting on line 4, you're discussing the ACA change,
Mm-hmm.
and you say that the actual amount credited was less than the projected amount, resulting in an undercredit. This undercredit amount can be attributed to the variance in the amount of projected firm sales versus actual firm sales during the determination period. Can you elucidate that? The variance being?
Yes, so there'll be, we set a forecast at the beginning of the review period, and we try to get it as close as possible. But we'll have deviation from that.
Right, which way did it go?
So it would have been less sales overall. So it would have been undercredit. But the other point to note here is that the ACA amount, it's not exactly apples to apples because the prior ACA amount was authorized for October 2024 to December 2024. So we're truing up the 12-month ending September, whereas the ACA is authorized for the 12 months ending December. So the variance will be due to the forecast versus actuals, but we're also truing up against a rate for those 3 months. So you'll get a little bit of variance there as well.
Okay, the reason I asked was I believe you're going to tell me in 95-14 that you sold more than projected.
Sandpiper's lower, had less. I believe the forecast came in below actual. The actual came in below the forecast.
Okay, we'll see when we get there.
Okay.
So you had less sales than projected. Is that what you said?
Correct.
But then in the next paragraph, when you're talking about the total firm gas revenue collected, you have that the actual cost was less? Is that right?
Are you referring to line 16 and 17 of page 6?
Well, start with 13. You have the revenue collected was 14,730, 870.
Correct.
An over collection of 782, 603.41, mainly attributable to higher sales than anticipated.
Yes, for Maryland, there could have been a more descriptive statement here. So we have transportation customers that pay us for the capacity that they use. We have one customer in particular in Somerset County, which used more, which they credit us, they pay us for the capacity they use, and then that is a credit against gas, so it offsets gas costs. So because that credit was higher than our forecasts, we had lower gas costs. So yeah, that could have been more descriptive there.
Okay, so those paragraphs don't contradict each other like they seem to.
No. Mm-mm.
All right, then on page 7, you're decreasing the credit, but I think you're actually increasing the credit, right? Can you read lines 19 through 20?
Sure. So the ACA is decreasing from a credit of 0.0812 per therm to a credit of 0.0926 per therm This equates to this decrease of 0.0114 per therm.
So
Equates to
the bills are decreasing, but the credit is increasing, right?
Could you repeat that once more, please?
The credit is increasing, which results in a decrease in the bill.
Correct.
Just wanted to clarify that. Thank
Okay,
you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts.
Thank you.
Your Honor, Chesapeake would like to call its second and final witness, Mr. Michael Salasa, to the stand.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the testimony that you're about to give?
I do.
And could you please state and spell your first and last name?
Michael Salasa, Michael Salassa.
And could you please provide your business address?
My business address is 500 Energy Lane, Dover, Delaware, 19901.
Thank you.
Mr. Salasa, good morning. Mr. Salasa, do you have a document in front of you with a cover letter titled Direct Testimony of, a cover page titled Direct Testimony of Michael Salasa on behalf of Chesapeake Utilities of Maryland, Inc., Caroline, Dorchester, Wycomico, and Somerset counties, formerly known as Chesapeake Utilities Maryland Division, and indicates case number 9513T?
Yes, I do.
And is this cover page dated November 7th, 2025?
Yes, it is.
And does this document consist of 7 pages of question and answer testimony?
Yes, it does.
Do you have any corrections, additions that you'd like to make to your testimony this morning?
No, I do not.
And if these questions were asked of you today, would your answers be the same?
Yes, they would.
And do you adopt this written testimony as your sworn testimony here this morning?
I do.
Your Honor, with that, I'd like to have Mr. Salasa's direct testimony marked as Chesapeake Exhibit Number 3
So marked.
and respectfully request to be moved into the record.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objection.
Okay, Chesapeake Exhibit 3 is admitted. Do you have
Witness
any
is
questions
available.
for this witness?
No questions for the witness.
Mr. Scher.
No questions.
Mr. Salasa, at page 7 of your direct testimony, starting on line 14, you state that the current asset management agreement expires on March 31st of 2026. As such, the company has engaged in an RFP process to identify the company's next asset manager. The company has engaged with numerous AMA providers and is currently evaluating their responses. Can you tell me whether that RFP is now an RFP for one asset management agreement for the 3 legacy companies? Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so the individual AMAs now had different terms. Is that also correct?
When you say different terms, do you mean as in timeline or
Dollars.
dollars? Yes, they had different dollar amounts.
Okay. So do you envision through the RFP process you will get an AMA that combines the companies to the extent that there will only be terms of one set of terms, or will there be 3 sets of terms?
There will be a single set of terms.
That's for what you're getting from all the companies?
That's correct.
Does the company anticipate that will affect any of the legacy company service territories differently than others?
At this time, I don't believe so.
Any questions based on my questions?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
I understand you don't have a witness. Do you want to just
Um,
enter the testimony by stipulation?
Yes, if Your Honor is amenable to that, that would be great.
If Mr. Quinn doesn't mind.
No objection, thank you, Your
Okay.
Honor.
You can go ahead and ask me to mark it.
Yes, staff would like mark for consideration the direct testimony of Chinique Alexander, which was filed on December 4th, 2025 under mail log number 325030.
Is that Staff Exhibit 1?
Yes, staff exhibit 1.
So marked, and by stipulation will be entered into the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. So a final order will be issued in this case. Anything
Staff does have a second exhibit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
You're right, you do. I apologize.
Yes, staff exhibit 2 is the direct testimony and exhibits of Evan Thomas. He is available.
I don't think I had any questions for him. Let me check. No, I had no questions for Mr. Thomas. So if Mr. Quinn is amenable, we can enter that by stipulation as well.
No objection, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, yes, staff would request that the direct testimony and exhibits of Evan Thomas, filed on December 4th, 2025 under mail law number 325030 be marked as staff exhibit 2 and moved into the record.
So marked and moved into the record. Okay. As I was saying, because Chesapeake has requested a final order in this case, we will be closing this. Is there anything else anybody wants to do in this case before we close the docket? Last call. Okay. We will move on to 9514M. Again, that's the continuing investigation of the purchased gas adjustment charges of Chesapeake Utilities of Maryland, Inc. for Worcester County. Appearances, again, sorry. For the
Good
record.
morning, Your Honor. Brian Quinn on behalf of the company.
Pauline Races on behalf of OPC.
And Harrison Scher on behalf of staff.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Quinn.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, on November 26, 2025, I filed the certificates of publication regarding today's evidentiary hearing in compliance with your September 29th notice. We don't have any of the drama of the last certificates of publication, thank goodness. With that, I filed them at mail log number 324813, and I'd like to mark those as Sandpiper Exhibit number 1, or should we continue with Chesapeake?
Chesapeake.
Chesapeake
one.
Exhibit number 4 would be the certificates of publication for today's hearing in this matter.
Okay.
I'd like those marked as Chesapeake Exhibit number 4 and moved into the record.
It's still, since it's a separate proceeding, I was going to go back to 1.
Okay.
It's just Chesapeake in a different case. That's
Thank you, Your Honor.
okay. So that's Chesapeake 1. Any objections?
No objection.
No objection.
Okay. Chesapeake 1 will be admitted into case number 9514's record.
Thank you, Your Honor. With that, with your permission, I'd like to call Chesapeake witness Jeffrey Roberts to the stand.
Good morning. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the testimony that you're about to give?
Yes, I do.
And could you please state your first and last name and spell it?
Jeffrey Roberts, Jeffrey. Roberts, Roberts.
And could you please provide your business address?
Business address is 500 Energy Lane, Dover, Delaware, 19901. Thank you.
Good morning again, Mr. Roberts. Do you have a document in front of you with a cover page titled Direct Testimony of Jeffrey Roberts on behalf of Chesapeake Utilities of Maryland, Inc., Worcester County, formerly known as Sandpiper Energy, Inc., and does it reference case number 9514M?
Yes, I do.
And is it dated November 7th, 2025?
Yes.
Does this document consist of 7 pages of question and answer testimony and 2 exhibits?
Yes.
And was this document prepared by you or under your direct supervision?
Yes.
Do you have any corrections or additions you'd like to make to your testimony this morning?
Yes, I do. There's one minor typographical error in Exhibit JR1. In the first summary item at the bottom, let's see. Sorry, the first summary item, ACA projected to be collected. It's missing the number 4. Should be October 24 through September 25.
Anything else?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Okay, so but for that correction, if these questions were asked of you today, would your answers be the same?
Yes.
And do you adopt this document as your sworn testimony here this morning?
Yes, I do.
Your Honor, with that, I'd like to have Mr. Roberts' direct testimony marked as Chesapeake Exhibit Number 2. We filed it in the docket at mail log number 324114 earlier. And with that, I'd like to have it marked as Chesapeake Exhibit 2 and moved into the record.
So marked. Any objections?
No objections.
No objection.
Chesapeake Exhibit 2 is entered.
Witness is available.
Any questions?
No questions for the witness.
Mr. Roberts, just for the record, Chesapeake is also requesting that this be the final proceeding in case number 9514. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Do you have your direct testimony in front of you?
I do.
Page 7, starting in line 13, you're talking about the increase that the ACA charge will result in. And you indicate that it'll be an increase of approximately 75 cents per month for a typical residential heating customer with an annual usage of 450 therms.
Correct.
Does the typical residential heating customer in Worcester County use 450 therms?
To my knowledge, yes. I believe we've used 450 as the baseline for many years for this proceeding. So, as my understanding is yes. At when the calculation was done.
Okay, that was my only question for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't have any questions for Mr. Salasa. Does anyone else?
No, Your Honor.
None from staff.
Okay, let's enter his testimony by stipulation.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Salasa filed direct testimony in this matter on November 7th, 2025 at mail log number 324114. It consisted of 6 pages of question and answer testimony. I'd like to have his testimony marked as Chesapeake Exhibit Number 3 and moved into the record.
So marked and entered by stipulation.
Thank you.
OPC has no witness, correct?
No witnesses.
Staff?
Staff has 2 witnesses, Your Honor. I don't believe there are any questions from Chesapeake. Does Your Honor have any questions for staff's witnesses?
I had just a quick question for Mr. Riley.
Okay. Staff would like to call Mr. Mark Riley.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the testimony that you're about to give?
I do.
And could you please state and spell your first and last name?
Mark Riley, M-A-R-K-R-I-E-L-L-Y.
And could you give us your business address?
And it's 6 St. Paul Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21202.
All right,
Good morning, Mr. Riley.
Go ahead. I was going to.
No, it's okay. You heard my question to Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Okay, in your testimony, you indicate that the new ACA factor is an increase from the prior years such that customers will see an increase in their bills. But I believe you had something different than Mr. Roberts.
Yes. I requested, as part of the data request, what the actual consumption was and the actual number of customers based on the 12-month period, and they didn't match what Mr. Roberts' calculation was.
Okay, why don't you tell me what you learned?
Essentially, he estimated that they used approximately 450, and my calculation is they used approximately 285.
Okay, so that explains the difference in your estimated increase to customer bills in your testimony?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any questions based on my questions?
No, Your Honor.
No question.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts.
Okay.
Staff has another witness.
Yes, staff second witness is Cameron Walton.
Good morning. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the testimony that you're about to give?
Yes, I do.
Could you please state your first and last name and spell it for the record?
Yep. First name is Cameron, Kamren, and last name is Walton, Walton.
And could you please provide your business address?
Yes, it's 6 St. Paul Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21202.
All right, good morning, Mr. Walton. Do you have before you a document entitled The Direct Testimony of Cameron Walton consisting of 15 pages?
Yes, I do.
And has this document been pre-filed in this case?
Yes.
And was this document prepared by you or under your supervision?
Yes, it was.
Do you have any additions or deletions you'd like to make?
No additions or deletions.
Okay. And do you adopt this testimony as your sworn testimony in this case?
Yes, I do.
With that, I'd like to have marked the direct testimony of Cameron Walton as Staff Exhibit 2
So marked.
and moved into the record.
It'll be moved into the record, and if we didn't do so for Exhibit 1, it's also in the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Cameron, do you have any, your testimony touches on the new AMA briefly. Do you have any information about how that agreement is likely to be different based on the fact that it's for a consolidated, the 3 companies consolidated as opposed to 3 individual AMAs?
No direct information. I know the company states that it will be the same as one entity now, rather than 3 separate entities for the AMA process.
Okay, but you don't know how the terms, when they change, because each individual company had different terms, how that will end up affecting the different territories, service territories.
No, I do not.
But maybe in the next case, you'll tell me about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. You're excused. Anything else we need to do in this case?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We're adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.